Hello, and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Clea, and today I would like to share with you more of the information I've received from the 25th dimension during my last qhht session. I would like to ask you before we move forward to please like this video and do leave me a comment below. Also, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Now, I will be reading from a transcript, and when I refer to Carolyn, I'm speaking of the hypnotist who asked me questions that were prepared by me in advance of the session. And when I refer to me, I'm speaking of myself under hypnosis, which means the answers are coming from 25th dimension. All right, let's get started. Carolyn, you told us that we will forget our knowledge. You told us that we will never forget our knowledge again after New Earth, even if we decide to die and go to another incarnation on a different planet. How will that work since other planets want to believe in the game? Will we be like prophets there or just not share with them what we know? Me. So what we meant is that we will never fully have a veil in front of our eyes, meaning that even if we incarnate on the Pleiades, we will never be fully vested and believing fully in the game. So say that we incarnated on a 3D planet. We would never be a complete sleeper, okay? Let's use terms that refer to things that we can all connect to because we see them. We know what we're talking about. So let's talk about the sleepers here. If you incarnated on a 3D planet, you would never be a sleeper again. You would know deep down whether you see something and you consider it real or not, solid or not, you will still know. It's a little bit what Clea has experienced her whole life, where she says life is a game. She always knew, she always had the inkling. And in that sense, it doesn't mean that we're never going to have amnesia again, or we're always going to have the exact understanding that we have on New Earth, but it does mean that we will never fully be in the game again. We'll always have in the back of our mind a lot of understanding. It's like, again, another thing Clea has always known. She goes, time is not real. Time is a construct. Where are these things coming from? There is a knowledge there that goes beyond, and she believes in the 3D. She's very much believed in the 3D, like everybody else. But there are still inklings there. There is still remembrance of something. And this is what we mean. The remembrance will be even stronger once we go to New Earth. But we're still, once we do incarnate, that's the whole point, is we reincarnate to have a new experience. We'll still be in the game. We just won't believe it as fully ever again, really. Carolyn, so if we come into the matrix to play and forget who we really are, why do we set up events for ourselves to remember, to awaken? Is the awakening part of that, is the awakening a part of that that's actually fun? Me. Yes, it is. So Clea was just thinking about this because in reference to the previous question, which we finished answering, so say you are on New Earth and you've lived there 5,000 years. And finally you're like, all right, I've explored everything I could. I really think I would like a vacation from this, quote unquote. They were laughing because it's funny, the idea of getting a vacation from being, so powerful and, and know what's going on. So I think I would like a vacation, and so I'm just going to reincarnate on a different planet where they believe in the game, where they believe time is real and whatnot. Now, you go there, and again, your point is that you don't want to know everything, otherwise you're not even reincarnating. You might as well just project there and hang out. So you do want to reincarnate because you do want to believe that you're starting anew. You're being born to somebody on that planet. But most likely, in fact, she was thinking this is what would happen. She would set herself up to, at some point in that lifetime, still awaken. Because once you realize how fun this is, that's always going to be your end game in any incarnation. Yeah, you go in and you pretend for a little while, but then when that's not so fun anymore, then you're like, all right, let me just remember what's actually true so that I can consciously then, so when you know something is true and you can change everything, that you can consciously plan your next coming, quote unquote. And they were laughing. Your next incarnation and whatnot, as opposed to waiting. Oh, surprise me after I am, quote unquote, dead. Surprise me. Let's see what I decide after that. We already know. We already have it all planned. We already know what experiences we want to have. And that is the level of consciousness. So to answer the specific question, is awakening fun? Yeah. And they were laughing. And the whole point, well, we have fun in so many different ways. So we have fun pretending that we don't remember. We have fun pretending. It's just like right here in 3D, when you play, when you turn on TV, you want to be away from all the rest of your reality. You just want to badge out. You just want to be right there and believe that everything you have in front of you is real, okay? But then you still know that if you look around, something happens, you're still aware of the rest of your surroundings. This is what we're going to do when we reincarnate. We're still going to be aware of things, but then we want to distract ourselves. And this is what we do here, right? We want to distract ourselves. So we want the opportunity to be like, I'm going to be in tunnel vision. I want to pretend that everything I see on TV is just my reality right now. But at the end of the day, it's fun. You're watching a movie, you forget about your reality, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, but look, there's so much more around me. And you start looking around. It's all wonderful. And that's what it is. This is the game of awakening, is that because we would get bored in both realities all the time, okay? Either knowing all the time or ignoring all the time. So what we do is we ignore for a little bit. We get all wrapped up in a game. And then we're like, oh, now I'm going to move over and I actually want to know that this is a game. That's all. That's all we're doing. Awakening is fun. In fact, and we've discussed this before, our plan, we have decided that, and obviously we've decided just for the fact that we have New Earth ready for us to get to. And we've decided that we do want a lot more of this awareness of the 25th and of the game spread within the multiverse. And while a lot of civilizations still want to believe in the game, there are a lot of people right now, because they have awakened, they wanted to awaken, they want more. And what is more is the fact that they can come visit us on New Earth. It will tell them that, yeah, it's not real. Look at what we can do. And we are just like you. And that's what it is. So yes, it is a game. Awakening is a very fun game too. You know, I made a note here because I thought this was so interesting and so logical. It makes sense to me. And this is how I can summarize this, how I summarize it for myself. So I'll share just in case this helps. It's like being in the movie The Matrix. You choose to take the red pill. So you're being offered, the 2 pills by Morpheus, red pill, blue pill. Blue pill, you go back to your 3D reality, nothing happened, you forget about everything. Red pill, you know what happens in the movie. You wake up, you're Neo, you realize it's all a matrix, blah, 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 blah. All right, so you choose to take the red pill, that means you're ready for more, to know the truth. But Morpheus instead tells you, sorry, there is nothing else, that's it. You can imagine how disappointing that would be. It would make for a very boring movie for sure. If Neo wants to awaken, you must have a behind the scenes matrix that he can learn about and awaken to. Otherwise, what's the point? And that's what we're doing. If our intention is to know about something new and different, we must have that option available for us to discover. And that's all. I mean, it's a game at the end of the day. It must make sense. It must be interesting. It must keep going. And for us to keep going is that at some point in these very, and we call it 3D, but this happens on other planets. If I were Pleiadian in the 9th dimension, at some point I'd be like, okay, these people are sleeping. And I want to awaken to more. And all of a sudden I'm like, I learn about New Earth, just like we're doing now. I mean, this all makes a lot of sense to me that we would do this. I know we're smart enough to figure this out. So that to plan all of this. Carolyn. So have we set up a grand design for the multiverse to eventually awaken to the fact that this is a matrix? Or is there no real plan for this? And essences simply choose their experience, me. Yeah, no, there is no real plan. Our plan is for this to keep going as long as it will feel good to us, which means that all of us, even us, we are now looking forward to awakening and to being on new earth, where there will be no veil. Really, eventually, we'll get bored of it. And then we do want the ability to go somewhere else in the multiverse and pretend that things are real. Carolyn, create another story. Me, correct. And so, yeah, we want both options. We want all options really to be available to us. And so that's all we're doing. Right now, up to this point, the option of being close to the 25th and being aware of the game wasn't really available. On New Earth, we're making it available. So if people want to incarnate there, incarnate quote unquote, because we're not really going to be bodies like we are here, they're going to be more energetic bodies. They can come and play, and knowing that this is a game. They were laughing, but we're still playing. Anytime we're outside of the 25th, anytime we're in the matrix, we're still playing. Carolyn, will animals in the 3D chambers have essences too? Me, yeah, they will also come and go just like the children in the 3D chambers until the 3D chambers are available, as some essences will be interested in having that experience. Carolyn, and so then how long will the 3D chambers last? Me, they will last as long as the first generation is there. So the generation moving on from Earth now, they're going to be there. They're going to live an extended amount of time, about 200 to 300 years. When they pass, then the chambers are going to be taken down, because all the children, all the essences that are going in to pretend that they're children, or that come into these people over there, they already know this is going to be taken down. So these are essences that have already chosen at some point to consciously, because they're not going to die, to consciously move on somewhere else. So they're going to have a little bit of an experience of a little, like a takedown, like we're doing now, meaning that consciously they're going to be projecting somewhere else, or they know that they're in a chamber and they're going to be hanging out with the aliens. So any essence going there knows that at some point they're going to have to do this. So they're going to be aligning. They're going to be wanting this experience and aligning with that. So this was very fascinating to me, the fact that they're basically, it's like a mini takedown. They're going to be doing this again. All right, Carolyn, and there will be a transition for them? Me, correct. But the people that are there, they're going there from here. Most of them will just, quote unquote, pass away. Nobody dies, but some of them will actually awaken too, just like we have done. Some of them will say, there's got to be more to this. I think there are aliens out there. They were laughing. And some will be like, okay, I think I'm going to go hang out with the aliens. Or some of them will be like, oh my gosh, there's got to be a new Earth. And all of a sudden, they'll be able to project there. Just like the same thing we're doing here will be very similar in the 3D chambers. So all in all, the 3D chambers just sound like a blast. So I really hope that, and I expect that our fellow brothers and sisters will be enjoying that. So I'm always happy to get this info from the 25th. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.